Hi, my name is Amanda Koo, and I am the music director for Fiddler on the Roof. So the music director of a musical theater production is in charge of the music to make sure that the original composer's vision comes to life, and you teach the vocals to the cast, make sure they know what to sing, assign harmonies, and in the community theater world you will also be in charge of hiring the orchestra and conducting, sometimes even playing in the orchestra depending on the show. On Broadway they have different people to do all of these things. There's a separate rehearsal pianist, separate contractor that gets the musicians, and there will be associate conductors and assistant music directors. But in the community theater world, we're a little scrappier, and so it's kind of all rolled into one. Oftentimes in community theater, there's also a separate vocal director and separate music director. When you see those two designations, that usually means the music director is the one in charge of the orchestra and conducting the actual show, and that's the person you'll see, whereas the vocal director mainly works with the cast in preparation during the rehearsal process and isn't involved in the actual show, kind of like the director who leaves after the show opens. But in this case, I'm wearing both of those hats for Fiddler on the Roof. I started playing piano and singing in choir, so I've done that for many years. I started accompanying for choirs in high school. It wasn't until college that I really discovered musical theater and the joy of collaborating with people who had so many different talents, because I'm not an actor and I'm not a dancer and I'm not a solo singer or someone who likes to be a character, but I loved contributing to that effort and being a fly on the wall, being a rehearsal pianist. I eventually moved up to playing in pit orchestra and then being a vocal director and then music director, as in conducting the show, and I was hooked. And a little bit of a selfish turn, I really wanted the orchestra on stage just to do something different for myself, different than anything I'd done in a previous production, and really have it be more involved and visible on stage. I think part of what's really exciting for audiences who watch live theater is to know that the music is also being created live. And sometimes it's easy when you're in the pit and you're hidden to think that maybe it's a recording, especially if it sounds really good. But I just really wanted to highlight the amazing musicians that we have in the community who love to do theater and just to showcase their talents. I was also initially inspired by the New York City Center Encores series, where they mount productions of musicals, but it's very lightly staged and they have the orchestra upstage, fully visible. And I really like that idea of getting to highlight the music, especially because Broadway pits tend to shrink or get increasingly have synthesized music because the style of popular music has changed over the years. Because we're bringing Fiddler back in 2024, even though it was written in 1964, I just wanted to make sure that we bring back the spirit of live music. If you want to play in a pit orchestra, get really good at your instrument, maybe get good at sight reading, because there's a lot of music to play during the course of a show. Get to know people who play your same instrument, who do musicals, or introduce yourself to the music director. Go to a show and say, "Hi, music director, my name is so-and-so, and I would love to be able to play in pit orchestra someday." I will say my personal connection to getting my foot in the door in Bay Area theater is that I came to watch PaloAltoPlayers' production of In the Heights. I had a friend in the ensemble, and it was a talkback day, and the music director happened to stick around, and they were standing in the hallway. I introduced myself, and I said, "Hi, I'd love to get into playing musical theater. Let me know if you ever need anybody." He's like, "Okay, I will." And sure enough, the next show was The Addams Family, and he's like, "I need a rehearsal pianist for these dates. Are you available?" And I said I was, and that was the start of a really nice, long relationship with PaloAltoPlayers ever since, and also branching out to other theaters across the Bay Area. Come see Fiddler on the Roof at PaloAltoPlayers this November.